Well, my job is the global manager of value for SKF, and is to try to define value to customers in numerous different ways so they understand it and don't always have a unit price discussion. We have a lot of technical people in our organization, I believe in yours also, and we need to convert that technical knowledge into a business case so that the customer can understand what the value is and how it translates into dollars for their business. Wherever you're watching this video, maybe you don't have different terms, but I always spend some time discussing the difference between price and cost. These are two completely different terms, but sometimes customers intermingle them, where they assume that lower price is the same as lower cost. Price is part of cost, but only one component of it. People assume that if they've reduced price, costs will automatically go down. Some of the biggest companies in the world have gone bankrupt by implementing that methodology. They're making one assumption, that all things are equal. And things that look the same might not always be the same. A quick story. I had the chance to do a strategic account call with a colleague of mine with a large steel company. The customer said he wanted a cost reduction, and he pounded his fist on the table and continued to say, "You don't understand, we're in serious trouble, we need to take cost out of our business." My colleague and myself left the meeting. He was very depressed and upset and said, "We have no more price to give, we can't do it, our management won't allow us to do so." I was happy on the other hand because I heard the customer say he wanted a cost reduction. We came back with a proposal of how we take cost out of the customer's business, and we've gained market share, increased sales, and made the customer happy because we took cost out of the business, not by reducing unit price. A visual example. You as a procurement person or your customers, if they have two things to buy, and one's a $10 or €10 widget, and the other one's a $15 one, and they look the same, they smell the same, they do the same thing, you could argue that the $10 one from a price perspective is better than the $15 one. However, it's our job to articulate to the customer what the differences are. My background is bearings, so I'll just give you an example. Bearings need lubrication, which is good for you. It keeps them turning, but they also use energy. That's what bearings are designed to do, is reduce friction. Distributors or the customer needs to keep inventory, take time to install, they have a life of reliability. The one on the left, the $10 bearing, turns out when you measure all the factors associated with it, actually costs $87 to run over its life. The one on the right, and the engineers can explain the why, uses less lubrication because a better lubricant was chosen, uses less energy because it was installed properly, or they use an energy efficient bearing. The distributor has an inventory plan with the customer. Whatever the reason is, the one on the right now actually can be seen to be a better deal. It creates $30 more value for the customer, even though the initial purchase price was $5 more. This enables us to explain to the customer that that $5 incremental price at the beginning is an investment because it has a payback that can be measured in quantifiable business terms. The price berg. It's a great visualization that shows to the customer that price is what's visible, it's on top of the surface, but it's the big stuff underneath the water that will cause the most problems. Numerous studies have been done that show that the initial purchase price of an industrial piece of equipment is 10 to 15% of its total cost of ownership. So the question is, should they be arguing over saving a dollar here, a dollar there, or look at the big thing? It might not be as visible. It's our jobs to be able to show the customers and make that visible so they see where the big money is, which might be underneath the water. The other example that talked about the difference in the term between price and cost and how these terms get interchanged all the time. That people make the assumptions that if they reduce price, cost will automatically go down. That's an assumption. If all things are equal, it holds true. However, things that look the same, smell the same, are not always the exact same. A few slides from a study from 2007 put together by the International Association of Commercial and Contract Management. They talked to procurement people, buyers, and they talked to salespeople and asked them the same question, and some interesting points come out of it. Customers said that they realized 40% more value, however they define value, by having a collaborative partnership. 40% more value probably exceeds the price premium of yourselves and some of the other competitors in your marketplace. Interesting enough, when they asked the same question to salespeople, they said that they brought 49% more value to the customers that had a collaborative relationship. You take your time, your energy, and the resources you have to the customers that appreciate you in the marketplace, that are willing to pay you for the value you bring. Whether it's 40% the customers say they receive or it's 49% that you say you bring, I think it's an interesting point that it's a lot more than a price differential of 10 or 20%. Two more slides from the same study. According to suppliers, that would be you, salespeople in this role. What do you think your customers care about? When I received these slides and information, I thought, it's interesting. Price is number 6, I believe. Total cost is number 10. So at least total cost made the list, but price was more important, at least at this point in time. Then I switched to the next slide and was discussing it with the researchers. And here we see that total cost is number 4 and price is number 10. Everything else is about in the same spot, but they've transposed these two numbers. And if you look at the title again, what's funny enough, the first slide said, what do you think your customers care about? You think they care about more than about price than about total cost. However, when you ask customers the same question, they say they care more about total cost than price. However, if we can't quantify, define, and explain total cost, they will revert to price because it's visible. I've talked about this a lot over the years, why this confusion seems to occur in the technical industrial world that we live in. And engineers get so frustrated when business people, procurement people don't understand the value they bring. We've done a lot of work with London Business School, this gentleman, Marco Bertini. And there's actually a term called the curse of knowledge. You understand your value so well, it's obvious to you what value you bring from a technical perspective, that you get confused why the customer doesn't understand it. And that's where that price and cost discussion becomes confusing. It's our job to explain it in a format that they can understand. They're not dumb. We just need to convert your technical knowledge to a business case that they can understand. I would argue, and our experience shows, that dollars and cents, euros, yen is the currency of the world, and that people can understand what value is when you can convert your value to something that's quantifiable, such as that. I can close by saying that, buying on the lowest unit price is not the way to create the greatest value for your company or for your customers buying that way. Numerous studies have proven companies that buy on total cost make more money over a long period of time and are the leaders in the marketplace. That's why we sell this way, but we also procure this way. Good luck on your journey to create and sell more value for your customers.